What's up, everyone? Welcome into the Cannonballs podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Dane Cannon. Co-hosting with me today is
your boy, Jake Bowles on the mic 1-2.
And guys, we are officially wrapping up our preseason predictions. We've gone division by division, team by team, game by game. If you guys want to listen to any of the other divisions, feel free. Today, we are going to be doing the NFC West record predictions. Guys, follow us on our Instagram here. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. Everything, yada, yada, yada. Jake, do you have anything to add before we get into this?
Excuse me. Seeing as this is the last division, should be quicker than our last episode. Our last episode was our longest one in a while. So sorry about that. Maybe you guys listened to all of it, but I highly doubt it. So this one, is my team's division. Pretty excited about it. It got a little bit tougher with the Seahawks. At least, and then it kind of got worse. It's like, really a race between two teams in this division right now. Yeah, I'm excited to get ready. I'm excited to get into it, Dan. I'm ready.
All right, guys.
It might go pretty fast though, since it's the last team or last division.
Yeah.
So
I know there's one team in particular that we'll probably just breeze through. But guys,
Yes.
Today we are going to be covering the NFC West. Sorry, I jumped the gun a little bit, but
no, you're good. I was not prepared.
It's all good. That's happened to me several times. But guys, so we do this in alphabetical order. We're going to go team by team. We're going to go through their entire season. We're basically going to cover some of the stats that they had last year, their strength of schedule, and then we will actually get into the records and the game by game. So first up on the list, we have the Arizona Cardinals.
All right. So, like many people, I believe you're kind of there as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we expect this team to be probably one of the worst teams in the NFL. Yeah. Probably contending for that number one overall pick. Depending on how Baker Mayfield looks, or Kyle Trask,
Tampa could be in the same conversation.
Yeah. I see but for me, looking at this season or at the NFL, I see the Cardinals, the Colts, and the Bucks probably as the worst teams so far. Depending on what Anthony Richardson can do, if he's just like a young phenom, then cool. They'll probably win a lot more games than people expect. I don't know yet. But the Cardinals finished last in the division. A lot of injuries, starting with their quarterback. They finished the season 4-13. They were 21st in points scored, 31st in points allowed. Overall, they were the 30th ranked team. On offense, they were ranked 30th. And defense, they were ranked 26th. Lone bright point last year for them was special teams. They were ranked 9th. So, and they lost a lot of pieces, a lot of young talent.
Some leadership as well. D-Hop's gone. J.J. Watt's gone. Yep. A lot of new pieces are going to be on that defensive line. Cornerback Byron Murphy's no longer there. I was really high on him. It's going to be a much different looking team than we've seen the last 4 years. Plus, we're not even sure if Kyler Murray's going to start the season or how much of the season he's going to play. I know he says that he wants to get out there week 1. We'll see if he's actually able to and get cleared by the medical staff. I think that it's highly unlikely due to the timing of when he tore his ACL, but we will see. I think they had a pretty solid draft. Interesting preseason game. They actually looked good against the first string Denver offense, which was kind of cool to see. They were able to move the ball a little bit on Denver's first string defense as well. Clayton Tune performed okay, not too bad. But, this is a team of the future. I think if they keep drafting the way that they did this most recent year, I think that they could be back in playoffs, hopefully in the next couple of years. I think it might take a little time to build the culture, especially with Jonathan Gannon, a brand new head coach for this team. So that's pretty much it. But yeah, Jake, I'm ready to get into the game by game if you pull up recordpredictor.com.
Real quick, I was laughing because I was looking for their strength schedule and they didn't. The NFL didn't do the Cardinals any favors. They have the 11th hardest schedule.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I expect this team to lose a lot of games, unfortunately, for Arizona and Arizona fans. But like Dan said, we're ready to get in. I am bringing a playoff predictor so you guys can look at it. And with that being said, let's start with the first game of the season. Week 1, we got the Cardinals traveling to Washington. Sam Howell is starting. And I think this is a good opportunity for Sam Howell. I think it's almost like a good practice against, a team of starters. I think the defense is better for the Commanders. I think Colt McCoy will probably be starting at this point. So, he's a little experienced. He can win games for the Cardinals. I could see the Cardinals possibly upsetting the Commanders, but I'm going to stick with my pick of the Commanders and have the Cardinals losing game 1.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat for week 1. Playing in Washington, so it's an away game. Anything can happen in week 1. Who knows? Maybe Jonathan Gannon's scheme will be a little bit Jonathan Gannon. Jesus Christ.
We're having a rough day today.
Yeah, but maybe Jonathan Gannon's defensive scheme will be a little bit newer. Who knows, the offensive play caller. It could be a tough team to predict, but I'm going to stick with Washington. They get Chase Young back. Sam Howell looks like he can sling the ball around, but I think it'll be a closer game than people think.
Yeah, never know with a rookie quarterback. Week 2, we got the Giants traveling to Arizona. I previously picked the Giants to win. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Giants. I think the Giants are trending. We're trending in the right direction. I think I might be a little bit too low on them, honestly, at 7-10. I don't think they're gonna make playoffs this year, but I think they're still gonna have a decent season and improve on what they built last year. Whereas the Cardinals are just like I keep saying, they're kind of in rebuild mode. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Giants here.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Giants as well. I think this game could be close as well, depending on how Arizona's defense plays. But I'm gonna take New York.
Week 3, tough matchup. We got the Cowboys traveling to the Cardinals. I'm not gonna complicate this one. I'm keeping the Cowboys. They're an elite defense. Offense is probably where they struggle the most. Maybe Dak has a poor game and the Cardinals can steal a win here, but that's a lot of what ifs. So I'm keeping the Cowboys pick.
Yeah, I'm keeping the Cowboys pick as well. I'm not going to overcomplicate it. That defense is too good.
Michael Parsons is going to get after it. Week 4, another tough matchup and division matchup. Cardinals are traveling to San Francisco. I'm going to pick the 49ers, but, if Trey Lance is starting or if Brock Purdy isn't what he was last year, I could see, and you're right, the 49ers are notorious for starting out slow. This is a division opponent. I could see this could be a trap game for the 49ers, to be honest. I don't anticipate them losing this game, but it could be, if Trey Lance is playing and he just has non-improved, it could be a scary matchup. But I'm still going to take the 49ers here.
I'm going to take the 49ers as well. I know that when Kyler was playing, they did have a tendency to kind of sneak a win away from the 49ers. But I don't even if Kyler is in, he's going to be limited in his utilization of his legs. He's not going to be able to run the ball effectively like he used to. He's not going to be able to scramble the ball the same. They don't have D-Hop there anymore. Michael Wilson is basically your second receiver behind Hollywood Brown. I mean, you still have Greg Dortch, and then you have Rondell Moore. And Rondell Moore could take a step up this year. We'll see. But there's a lot of proving to come from the Arizona Cardinals offense and defense. They are just a very young team. So I'm going 49ers.
Week 5, 3 tough matchups in a row. We got the Bengals coming to Cardinals. This is Dane's Super Bowl favorite. Yeah. They're definitely in contention for me. Either them or the Chiefs. But they're just a way better team than the Cardinals, so I'm keeping the Bengals pick.
Yeah, I think even if Joe Burrow, for whatever the reason, wasn't out there, I think that they would still win just because their wide receivers are that elite. Their defense is really, really freaking good. They have a good running attack. So, yeah, give me the Bengals.
Week 6, we got another division matchup. We got the Cardinals traveling to LA to face the Rams. I think it's very possible that the Rams and the Cardinals trade this season. Rams are kind of in decline. Lot of rumors going on over there. They really don't have much of a roster. I like their draft, but that's a lot depending on some rookies. So I could definitely see the Cardinals squeaking out a win here, but I'm going to take the home team and take the Rams.
Okay, I'm going to take the Rams as well. I think this is a very winnable game for either team. Division opponent, both teams are a little bit on the weaker side. Both were, kind of powerhouses for a period of time just a couple of years ago, but both teams lost a lot of pieces. I'm just going to trust Matthew Stafford at this point in time with Cooper Kupp a little bit more than I'm going to trust the quarterback with Arizona, whether it's going to be Kyler Murray, Clayton Tune, or Colt McCoy.
All right, week 7. That is a brutal stretch of games.
Yes, it is.
All right, week 7, another division game. We got the Cardinals traveling to Seattle. Seattle's already a tough place to play, and the Seahawks improved a lot through the draft. They probably had one of the best drafts this year. I think Geno can do it again. I do. But I kind of want to see what he does before this. But I expect the Seahawks to win this game for sure. So, yeah, I'm taking Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm going Seahawks on the 12th man at home. Just a more complete roster, more elite pieces at certain positions.
Week 8. Jesus.
I'm going to loss. I'm not going to talk about this one too much. Baltimore is just a much more complete team. If Kyler Murray is in, it'll be a little bit more interesting, especially at home. But the Ravens have a solid defense, and their offense should take a step forward with adding OBJ and Zay Flowers.
That is a brutal stretch. Yeah, I'm taking the Ravens. Not gonna talk too much about it. Week 9, we got the Cardinals traveling to Cleveland. Tough place to play. I originally picked the Browns. I will say this: if Deshaun Watson is what he looked like last year, I could see the Cardinals upsetting the Browns here. But I am going to bank on Deshaun Watson returning to his Houston form, and I'm going to take the Browns.
Yeah, I'm taking the Browns as well. I think Nick Chubb has a day.
Yeah.
Arizona's run defense looked pretty good in preseason, but it'll be a much different story when you're going against one of the top tier running backs in the NFL. So give me the Cleveland Browns at home.
Week 10, this starts getting into their easier part of the schedule. The Falcons are coming to Arizona. I think this is depending on what the Falcons look like, I think this is probably a winnable game for the Cardinals. They are going to have to give their full effort because the Falcons have some pieces. I'm not really too scared of that defense. And if Colt McCoy is the quarterback at this point, I probably trust him more than Desmond Ridder. But I'm gonna go the Falcons again. Just for now, I definitely can change this, but
yeah, this is all just preseason hype. Our opinions, you can correct us if we're wrong in the comment section. You can tell us why we're wrong, because you guys are going to know more about your teams than we do, because we have to cover all 32. You guys are more specific on your specific team. I think that this is a winnable game for the Cardinals. I really do. Even if it was Clayton Tune. So I'm expecting him to be the third string, but even if he's the quarterback, I think that they can get it done. The Falcons definitely did get better. I like some of their draft picks. I think Bijan could have a hell of a day here, but a lot of this is going to be contingent on Desmond Ridder. I'm just going to trust that the Falcons get it done with their running game, because they do have one of the best. So give me the Falcons.
Week 11, we got the Cardinals traveling to Houston. I think this is a winnable game as well.
Agreed.
I mean, CJ Stroud doesn't, a couple bad passes in the preseason. I have been notoriously low on Ohio State quarterbacks. I hope, CJ Stroud can turn that trend around, but I don't know. We will see. I do think the Texans are trending upwards. So this is kind of a toss-up for these two teams, but I'm going to stick with the Texans pick here. It's at home. The Cardinals, if this goes the way we're predicting it, they're reeling right now. But I could see the Cardinals possibly squeaking a win out here.
So I'm actually going to go with the Cardinals. I think originally I had chosen the Houston Texans, and I think that this could go either way. But I'm going to go with the Cardinals because I think by this time Kyler will be back. Like, I think it's almost guaranteed, in my opinion. Maybe not. If he's already doing drills, though, team drills or individual drills during training camp, I expect him to be back by week 11. The defense might be able to surprise some people. They are led by Jonathan Gannon, a defensive-minded head coach. He was with the Eagles. They looked good in preseason. It's going to be contingent on quarterback play and the offense, in my opinion. James Conner is still there, so they might be able to get some things done. I'm gonna give them the win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they'll go winless. I really don't. So I think. What do I have the Texans at? 6-11. Ooh. Nah, I'm gonna keep it. All right. Week 12. Rams traveling the Cardinals. I believe these teams trade. So ding ding ding. I found the first win for me. Week 12. I think they squeak one out. It's a division opponent. They want to win at least one game. You don't want to go winless. I don't see that happening, honestly. That's almost as hard to do as going undefeated. So yeah, I think they get a win here.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I think that the Rams, they are also another team that gave up a lot of players. I think when I was watching the preseason game with my father, shout out, Michael Cannon Conan, we heard the announcers talk about how many rookies they have on their team this year, and it's over 30. I think they said it was in the 40s, Jesus. Which is absolutely ridiculous.
That's insane.
Whether it's undrafted free agents, players who didn't play last year, the draft, yada, yada, yada. They have a lot of rookies. So it's a very young team, very brand new team. And they had to give up a lot for Matthew Stafford. They ended up winning a Super Bowl, so it worked out. But now they are paying the price, and they are in a rebuild as well. So, yeah, I'm going to go Arizona.
This 3-game stretch I could see as a little actually this 4-game stretch between the Falcons and the Steelers. I could see the Cardinals getting some wins here. But we will see. Week 13, we got the Cardinals traveling to Pittsburgh. Tough place to play. I'm going to keep the Pittsburgh pick. I think Kenny Pickett's solid. I want him to prove more before I say anything else about him. But I think he has the possibility to be, one of the Steelers' next good quarterbacks. So I like the defense better in Pittsburgh. I like the weapons in Pittsburgh, and I like the coaching better. So yeah, I'm keeping the pick.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to stick with the Steelers as well. I like their draft also. I think they had an amazing draft. Good head coach Mike Tomlin. I like Kenny Pickett. I think the defense is going to be a lot better with TJ Watt healthy. So give me the Steelers at home.
All right. Week 14, they got their bye just in time for playoffs. Week 15, we got the Niners going to Arizona. Not going to complicate it. Niners get the dub.
Yeah, I'm not going to complicate it either. Niners, at this point in the season, this is when they really turn the Jets on. This is when they really get after it. They're getting ready for playoffs usually by this time of the year. And it's a division opponent. They know them, and that defense is going to be hungry. Give me the 49ers as well.
All right. Week 16, Cardinals traveling to the Bears. You know, like you said, if Kyler Murray is playing, it'll be more interesting. But it's like, do you play him or do you activate him if your season's over? I don't know. It's very tricky. There's already rumors of, what they'll do with Kyler Murray if they do get the number 1 overall pick. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't even want to play. Maybe he wants to save his health and just save it for next year. It's a lost season. I don't know. It's going to be hard. I think it'll be interesting if Kyler Murray is playing against the Bears. I think, Kyler Murray can do some stuff against that defense. But right now, I'm just going to go with the Bears.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to stick with the Bears mostly because of the weather factor. Arizona plays in a dome. Chicago, week 16, it's going to be cold. The fans are going to be hungry, in my opinion, for a win. I think that they had a pretty rough strength of schedule as well. But yeah, give me the Bears at home. I think this defense is going to be a little bit grittier than people give them credit for, and it's going to be hard for a dome team to play in Chicago.
All right. Week 17, Cardinals at the Eagles. Not going to talk about this one. I got the Eagles.
Same here. That is a brutal matchup. The Eagles are, in my opinion, top 3 teams in the NFL.
I agree. Week 18, we got the Seahawks traveling to Arizona. So I'm going to pick the Seahawks, but I will say this. If playoff seeding is already, in place, no one can move up or down, I could definitely see the Seahawks benching their starters and the Cardinals getting a win here. I'm going to just say the Seahawks get this win. But I think that could happen potentially. So
yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like if Seattle's already locked in for a playoff spot, it very well could happen that they rest their starters. So yeah, I'm going to go Seattle as well if they play their starters. If not, I could definitely see the Cardinals winning. So you have them going 1-16. I have them going 2-15. So brutal.
I will say this though. It's possible, like you said, they could beat the Commanders. I could see them possibly beating the Giants.
Same.
I could see them, beating the Falcons, beating the Texans, and possibly beating the Bears and Steelers. So it's going to be rough for them. It's pretty hard freaking
strength of schedule.
Schedule. So this team could potentially be. I still see them, not winning more than 6 games, but yeah, we'll see. I hate to do it, even though it is a division rival. I hate to do a team dirty like that, like not have any faith. But it's just hard when you don't have your starting quarterback. You lose so many people. It's a difficult one, and everyone is kind of in the same mindset that the Cardinals are going to be in contention for the first overall pick. So there you have it.
I think this team is just very new, very young, new system, new scheme. So it's going to be an adventure, especially when you're more likely than not going to be starting with your franchise quarterback, or if he is the franchise quarterback, your first string quarterback at least. It'll be a learning curve. I do think that they have the potential to upset some teams for sure. I definitely think that they could be a sneaky team that sometimes teams may overlook. But Yeah, I think that's enough about the Arizona Cardinals. Jake, are you ready to move on to the next team?
Yes, I am.
All right. Next, after the Cardinals, we have the Los Angeles Rams. All righty.
All right. So the Rams finished third in the division. Lot of injuries for the Rams. Yeah, a lot of injuries, especially to that offensive line. That's what really hurt them last year. And not to mention Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, both got hurt. And even when they were healthy, it was just so hyper focused on that connection. Like, I don't think Matthew Stafford ever threw it to anybody else.
Yeah,
but
it was a hyper fixation for sure.
Yeah. So they finished the last year with 5-12 record. They were 27th in points scored, 21st in points allowed. Overall, they were the 16th best team. Offense, they were 25th in passing. Wow, that's pretty good. In defense, they were 6th in passing defense. So
not bad. But that was because they had Jalen Ramsey, and now he's gone.
Yes, you are exactly right, Dane. Their strength of schedule doesn't help them out at all. They actually have a harder schedule than the Cardinals. They have the 9th hardest schedule. So Jesus. NFL, again, didn't do them any favors. But, Dane, I am ready.
I'm ready as well. Let's get into it.
I will say this. I think possibly the Rams can upset people. I think the Rams have more of a chance to upset people than the Cardinals, just because I think Matthew Stafford's a good quarterback. Even though he can be kind of turnover prone, I still think that connection between him and Cooper Kupp is ridiculous. So
yeah, I mean, that connection is unreal. Cooper Kupp is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. So definitely can't play upset. You know, maybe some of their younger players kind of develop quicker than we anticipate or than we think. So they might do better than we thought.
Yep. All right, week 1. We got the Rams traveling to Seattle. Tough week 1 matchup. You know, week 1, anything can happen. It's a division rival. Anything can happen in the division. But the Seahawks are a better team. So, and it's in Seattle. So with that, I'm going with Seahawks.
I'm going with the Seahawks as well. Give me the 12th man at home. Anything can happen week 1, but I think that they just have a much more complete roster at this point in time that is familiar with the scheme that they are currently running.
All right. Week 2, we got the Niners, another division matchup, going up against the Rams. You know, if Trey Lance is starting, or again, if Brock Purdy is not what we think he is, and with the 49ers starting out slow in past years, I could see the Rams getting their first win in a while against the 49ers. But with that being said, I'm going to pick the 49ers here. I still think they're one of the best teams in the NFL, whereas the Rams are not. So I'm picking the 49ers.
I'm going 49ers as well. It's just much more complete team, way better defense.
Yeah. I mean, the defense,
especially if Aaron Donald gets traded, also, like if that actually happens, this defense is going to be toast.
Yeah. Just so you guys know, I heard something a couple minutes ago of Aaron Donald possibly getting traded, and possibly the Eagles are interested. So if that were to happen,
I won't watch the season.
Yeah, me neither. But we will see. All right, week 3, another brutal matchup. We got the Rams traveling to Cincinnati on Monday night. Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Bengals here. I think I'm right there with you, Dane. I think they can go to the Super Bowl this year. You know, if Joe Burrow is healthy. If Joe Burrow is not healthy, this team is gonna be terrible. Not terrible. It's just hard. It's hard to have all that talent and not have someone throwing the ball to them. But yeah, I'm taking the Bengals here.
I'm taking the Bengals as well. Just a better team.
All right. Week 4. This is where I previously picked the Rams. They're facing the Colts. I previously picked them to win. I think they can win. I think they can beat the Colts here. You know, young quarterback. I'm gonna go with the better quarterback here. I think. What's his name? Anthony Richardson could be great, but we don't know yet. So I'm going to go with the proven commodity in Matthew Stafford and take the Rams here.
I'm going to take the Rams as well. I think that as of right now, Anthony Richardson in the preseason, like we said in our AFC West video, this is recorded the same day as when we did that episode. That episode will just be released before this. But yeah, in the preseason, we got to see, pretty much every rookie quarterback from the 2022 or 2023 NFL draft. He didn't look the best. Granted, it's week one. It's the preseason. He has a lot of time to develop still, but he threw an interception, off balance throw, kind of the inaccuracy issues came up like we saw at Florida. So I'm going to go with Matthew Stafford. Give me the Rams.
All right. Week 5, another brutal matchup. I mean, they're facing 1, 2, 3 Super Bowl contenders in a month. That is nasty. Week 5, Eagles against the Rams. I'm taking the Eagles. They're legit.
Yep, I'm going Eagles as well. Week 6, Arizona traveling to LA. Both Jake and I already picked the Rams. I'm going to stick with my pick.
As am I. I think it's possible they trade, but we will see. Week 7, we got the Steelers traveling to the Rams. I think this is a very losable game for the Rams. I think it's a very winnable game for the Rams. Personally, I think the Steelers are actually a better team. This is where my theory of the Rams kind of surprising some teams comes in, and I think the Rams steal one from the Steelers. So, got Rams.
Yeah, I think that this is a game that the Steelers should probably win, but I think Sean McVay is still a good head coach. Like, he's still a great offensive-minded head coach. I think that he might be able to scheme up some packages for the personnel that he has, even if it is a bunch of younger guys. I agree that I think the Rams can sneak away with a win against a better team, and I'm going to go with the Rams as well.
All right, week 8, we got the Rams traveling to Dallas to face the Cowboys. Cowboys are good, man. On the defensive side of the ball, they're elite. Dak Prescott could definitely lose this game for them. Both these quarterbacks are turnover prone. So, I could see the Rams possibly sneaking in and upsetting the Cowboys, but I'm just going to go with the Cowboys. I think that defense is just too good right now. So, taking the Cowboys.
Same. I don't think that they have a bona fide tackle to stop Micah Parsons at this point in time. I think Micah Parsons would just eat. And yeah, I'm going with Dallas.
All right. Week 9, we got the Rams traveling to Green Bay. Depending on how Jordan Love looks, I could see the Rams again possibly stealing one. But I still think the Green Bay Packers have a good decent defense. They have weapons on offense. They have that run game. So this will be an interesting matchup because Matt LaFleur comes from that coaching tree. So, McVay and LaFleur are friends, or, they work together. So it'll be interesting. But I'm gonna take the Packers here just for that, with that home field advantage.
Yeah, I'm going Packers as well. I think the home field advantage comes into play. I think Jordan Love is going to be better than we expect, possibly, but that's my intuition. I think that he's going to outperform where we kind of have them. I think Green Bay's defense should still be pretty solid. The offense, they still have pieces, but yeah, I'm going to go Green Bay at home.
All right, week 11, we got the Seahawks. Oh, sorry, week 10 is their bye week, just in time for playoffs. Week 11, we got the Seahawks traveling to Los Angeles. Division rivals. You think it's kind of like a cop out to say every team's gonna split because that's how divisions go. You know each other so well. You know your tendencies. But I just think the Seahawks are so much better than the Rams. So I think they sweep them. I'm taking the Seahawks here.
Yeah, I think the Seahawks absolutely should, but I am actually going to go with the Rams in a sneaky win over a division opponent.
Okay, I like it. I like it. I wouldn't mind that. I would not mind that at all. Any reason why? Just because it's a division opponent?
It's a division opponent. It is at home. It is in LA. Seattle, they will travel. They will represent. But I think that the defense could start coming together a little bit. You know, you're in the second half of the season at this point in time. I think that a lot of the young rookie players are going to have a little bit of playing time under their belt. So maybe they're forming and gelling a little bit more with one another and playing off of each other. And I think that they have an ability to upset them. Because like I said, Sean McVay is a very offensive minded and oriented head coach. And I think that he can scheme up some stuff. And if Cooper Kupp's healthy, you obviously have a dangerous weapon. Cam Akers can be better than expected. They drafted Steve Avila, so he's a decent guard. And yeah, I think that they have enough pieces to get it done. It's just going to be an uphill battle. So,
all right. All right, week 13, we have the Browns facing No. Jesus, I'm sorry, Dane.
No, you're good.
Week 12, we have the Rams traveling to Arizona. I do think these teams trade, even though I guess I would say the Rams are a better team. Actually, that's kind of hard to say. I believe both these teams are very young and both have lots of question marks on both sides of the ball. Where I think the Rams are better is the Cooper Kupp and Matt Stafford connection and the coaching. So, but I'm gonna keep the Cardinals pick here.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep the Cardinals pick as well.
All right, week 13, we got the Browns traveling to LA. I previously picked the Rams to win here. I'm going to change this one.
Yeah, I'm going with the Browns as well, especially if the reports of Deshaun Watson are accurate. If he's looking better, I expect him by this point in time to even be better than he looks in training camp. As long as their weapons are healthy, Nick Chubb could have a day.
Yeah. This is why you listen to all our episodes, because a couple Browns fans were talking shit. And look at that. We changed our mind. We're just, we needed more information. It's okay to change your mind. So, yeah, I'm going to change it to the Browns. Week 14, another tough matchup. We got the Rams traveling to Baltimore, face the Ravens. I picked the Ravens. I am sticking with that pick.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the Ravens as well. It's a very tough place to play. It's on the East Coast, coming from a West Coast team. Long distance travel doesn't really bode well.
Week 15, we got the Commander or whatever, I'm just going to call them the Washington team. We got the Washington team.
See that they have 75,000 signatures to change it back to the Redskins?
I do.
That's pretty cool.
That's crazy. So we got whatever that team is coming to LA. I previously picked the Commanders.
Washington football team.
The Washington football team traveling to LA. That defense, I agree with you. It's a solid defense. Damn, do I change this one? Because I think I might change this one. They haven't won in a while. It's at home. I'm gonna change this one. I'm gonna have the Rams win this one.
All right, I like it.
Which means my record for the Commanders or the football team is now at 4-13.
I'm actually going to have the Commanders still winning, in my opinion. I think that they have more veteran pieces overall. I would say that there's still some veteran pieces on the Rams, but like I said, they have like 30-some, 40-some rookies that are coming onto this team. I think that Washington's defense is better overall because they haven't lost as many pieces. They also brought in some pieces from the draft. So I'm going to go Washington Commanders still.
Yeah, I don't know why I want to pick the Rams here, to be honest. The smarter pick is probably the Washington team. Oh, well. I already changed it. I'm not going back now. Week 16. We got the Saints traveling to Los Angeles on Thursday night. And last week we did the Saints And I think the Saints could be the Philadelphia Eagles of this year. They have a very easy schedule. They're a pretty solid team. I think I might change this one.
Yeah, I'm just so you know, I am going with the New Orleans Saints. I just the more that we talked about the pieces that they had and the pieces that they drafted, the more that I liked the New Orleans Saints. It's going to be up to Derek Carr though. A lot of it's going to be riding on him and the running game. I think the defense is going to be stacked this year. I think that defensive line group is going to be nasty. So yeah, I like the Saints in this one.
Not only that, I know it's only preseason, but Derek Carr looked pretty good today. So we'll see. Maybe he just needed a change of scenery.
Yep.
But week 17, we got the Rams traveling to the Giants. I picked the Giants to win. I'm gonna stick with it.
I'm gonna go with the Giants as well. I think the weather could play a factor in this game also. I think the Giants are going to take a little step back and regress, but I still think that they have a more complete team at this point in time because they haven't given up as many pieces.
All right, week 18, we got the Rams traveling to Santa Clara, face the 49ers. So I will say this: 49ers are a better team. That's without question. But depending on playoff seeding, I could see the Niners benching their starters. And if that's the case, from what I saw today in preseason, the Rams are going to win this game. But I'm just going to pick the 49ers here. It's the last game of the season. You know, I'm taking the better team.
Yeah, I'm going to go 49ers if their starters play. If not, I'm going Rams.
All right. I need to put my foot in my own mouth because I got the Rams going 4-13. Worse than I expected.
I have them going 4-13 also.
Wow. Wait.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4-13.
Yeah, they have a nasty schedule, honestly. The first 2 months of the season is brutal.
Yeah, if they didn't get rid of Jalen Ramsey, I would feel a little bit better on the defensive side of the ball because they still have Aaron Donald there. But getting rid of Jalen Ramsey, that secondary is questionable, and you can't just have like one star-studded defensive player on the defensive line. Hopefully Byron Young pans out from Tennessee. It's just going to be tough, man. The Rams, they're in a rebuild. And I think that if they keep drafting the way that they have, you know, they can get there again. It's just going to be a little bit.
Damn. I changed my pick from the Steelers game, and now I have the Steelers going 8-9 for the first time, which probably not going to happen. They're for sure going 9-8. Yeah, 9-8, I don't know, man.
7.
I could see them beating the Packers. I could see them beating the Cardinals twice. But other than that, they have a tough schedule, man.
They do. They really do have a tough schedule. But
what did I say it was? 9th? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Wonder people are low on the Rams. All right, you know what? With that being said, I don't think they're going to surprise some teams. I think they're going to beat the teams they should, and that's about it.
Yes. Yeah, it'll be very interesting.
I have a proposition, Dane. Can we do my team last?
Yeah, that's fine. All
right. Save the best for last.
All right, Jake, let's move on. Since you want to do your team last, that means that we are going to be moving on to the Seattle Seahawks. And this is, I think, an improved team. They surprised us last year. They did a lot better than we expected. I think they drafted really well. So I think that they're kind of back already in contention for a playoff spot. I mean, they made it to playoffs last year. Yeah, I think this is going to be a tighter division than people may think. I think this Seattle Seahawks team is going to be dangerous.
Yeah, I do too. They're definitely going to compete with the 49ers. I do think the 49ers are still a better team.
Agreed.
It's just questions at the quarterback kind of scare me a little bit. But you know what? 49ers haven't had a franchise quarterback since, I don't know, Steve Young or Jeff Garcia. So it's hard. But I'm excited to see what Seattle has in store. Hopefully they lose a lot of games. But last year, they finished second in the division, 9-8 record. They didn't make the playoffs, losing 3 times to the 49ers. So they were 9th in points scored, 25th in points allowed. Overall, they were the 12th best team. Offense, they were 14th in passing, 22nd in passing defense. So this team started out really hot, and then they kind of simmered down. On both sides of the ball. Geno Smith was lighting the world on fire and then kind of simmered down towards the end of the season. And the defense
Walker
was
started off super hot as well, simmered down. So
that's some of my reservations on this team are the defense and the quarterback. I like Geno Smith. Like, I've been a fan of his since he was in college. I remember watching him play at West Virginia. Yeah, and I am a fan of his. Too bad he's a Seattle Seahawk. But I want to see him do it again, because if this team has to rely on Drew Lock, it's not going to be what they think this season is going to be. So, yes, we need good quarterback, or we don't need it. I would prefer bad quarterback play. But let's get into the strengths of schedule. They are tied 12th. With the Chargers and Broncos for the hardest schedule, tied 12th hardest schedule in the NFL.
Okay.
Dane, you ready to get into the Seahawks?
Yes, let's get into the Seattle Seahawks.
There it is.
As our friend and ally of the pod, Christian Gappison, shout out. I know you're not going to listen to this.
Yeah, none of our friends do. So week 1, Rams traveling to Seattle. I picked the Seahawks. I'm sticking with that game.
I'm going to stick with it as well.
Week 2, Seahawks traveling to Detroit. I picked the Seahawks, and I'm trying to figure out why. I think the Lions are a good team. I think this is a good matchup because it has a lot of, I believe the winner of this game is going to have the upper hand in the playoff seeding. Possibly. So I had the Lions losing game 1. I think I'm going to switch this one. I'm going to have the Lions winning here.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think if my recollection is accurate, I think that I originally went Seattle. I'm not entirely positive. If this was in Seattle, I think I would go with Seattle. But since it's in Detroit, I think based off of my predictions, though, I had them beating the Chiefs, which is a super high momentum boost, beating like the Super Bowl champions. Week 1, you're the first game of the season. They could ride the momentum and carry it, or they could crash and just be like too overhyped, and then out of nowhere they lose this game. But I'm going to stick with Detroit, or I'm going to go to Detroit. Excuse me. I'm going to select Detroit here. I think that they win at home. So yeah, give me the Lions.
All right, week 3. We got the Panthers traveling to Seattle. It's going to be a tough game for Bryce Young. Improved defense, tough place to play. They look pretty physical in their preseason game. And they got one of the best players in the draft with Devon Witherspoon. So I think this is going to be a tough game, and I'm going to keep the Seahawks pick.
Yeah, not only that, they got my number 1 cornerback and they got my number 1 wide receiver. They got Jackson Smith and Jigba as well, pairing him up with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. They also got Zach Charbonnet. If Kenneth Walker's healthy, it's a nasty offensive performance. I mean, they addressed the offensive line a little bit last year, some growing pains there. But I think that Seattle at home, like you said, it's going to be a tough place to play for Bryce Young. Not only that, Uchenna Nwosu, my guy, I love him, ex-Charger player. He just got paid. He's going to want to show why he's worth top-tier edge rusher money now. I don't think he got anything near like the very tippity top, but he did get paid. So I'm going to say that he has a game as well. So give me the Seahawks.
All right, week 4, we have the Seahawks traveling to New York to face the Giants on Monday. I previously picked the Seahawks to win. I think the Giants could pull an upset out here. I really do. The Seahawks are not good at stopping the run. And the Giants are good at running the ball. So I could see Saquon possibly having a day here. But I'm going to go with a better team, and I'm going to take the Seahawks.
I'm going to take the Seahawks as well. I think Darren Waller could give them a couple issues on the defensive side of the ball as well. Reports out of camp are that he's having a hell of a camp. If Daniel Jones keeps improving, that's great. Saquon Barkley, he did sign the franchise tag, so he's going to be there. He's not going to be missing any time unless, of course, of injury, knock on wood. But I just think Seattle's a more complete team. I don't think Geno Smith is necessarily a lot better than Daniel Jones, but I do trust him a little bit more if we're going off of last season. So yeah, give me Seattle.
Pretty interesting. Both these quarterbacks have not been good until last year. So pretty interesting. Week 5, bummer
Early
for the
bye,
Seahawks.
just like the Chargers.
So week 6, tough matchup. We got the Seahawks traveling to the Bengals. I'm keeping the Bengals pick. I think the Seahawks are going to be good. I don't think they're at the level of the Bengals quite yet. So I'm going with the better team. Bengals here.
Same here. I'm going Bengals. I think the bye could play in their favor preparing for this game, and so it might be closer than we realize, but it is in Cincinnati. It's going to be a hostile environment, and I expect Joe Burrow to be healthy at this point, hopefully. So I'm going Bengals.
Yep. Week 7, Cardinals at the Seahawks. I'm taking the better team here and taking the Seahawks.
I'm taking the Seahawks as well.
Week 8, we got the Browns at the Seahawks. Tough place to play. I previously picked the Browns to win. I think it's possible. I almost want to change this one, but you know what? I'm going to give the Browns this one. So keep it Browns.
Yeah, I think the Browns are more likely than not able to upset them in Seattle, but because it's in Seattle, a lot of this is just going to come down to Seattle's run defense. I think that this could be a game that Nick Chubb could go off, but I also think that this could be a game where Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet could have a day as well. I'm going to go Seattle. I'm going to go with the home team. I think these teams are very evenly matched. I do trust Deshaun Watson more as a passer this year. He still has weapons, so I think this will be a very close game. Honestly, I think this is going to be a tough one, but I'm going to have Seattle sneaking this one out.
Week 9, we got the Seahawks traveling to Baltimore. Very tough place to play. I'm going to change this one. I think the Ravens defense gets after Geno Smith in this game. They challenge those young tackles in Seattle. I think it's a close game, but I think the Ravens win by a field goal. Justin Tucker. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Ravens here.
Yeah, I think I originally went with you with Seattle. But since it is in Baltimore, I think you brought up a good point. I think they could get after Geno here in the pass rush. They also have what's the offensive coordinator now? Todd Monken, is that his name?
I'm not completely sure.
I want to say it's Todd Monken. I think this offense is going to look better with OBJ. Hopefully Lamar Jackson's healthy at this point. They also have Zay Flowers. Devin Duvernay actually looked pretty decent in his first preseason game again. He's dealt with injuries as long as he's healthy. They actually have a decent receiving core along with Mark Andrews. So I'm going to go Baltimore now. I think I'm going to change it. I'm going to go Baltimore.
All right. Week 10, we got the Washington team traveling to Seattle. This is where they get back on track and get the dub. I got Seahawks.
I'm going to go Seahawks as well.
Week 11, they're traveling to LA, face the Rams. They keep the win streak going and beat the Rams.
I said that this was going to be an upset. I'm going to go with the Rams still.
Okay. Week 12. We got probably it's probably going to be one of the best regular season games of the year. We got the Niners traveling to Seattle. You know, besides last year, winning in Seattle was like almost impossible. Last year, Niners beat them 3 times. I don't think the Seahawks were as good as they are this year. So I'm going to actually have the Seahawks winning here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the chance of them splitting this year is a lot higher than it was last year. Hopefully Charles Cross, he did get eaten alive by Nick Bosa last year. I think that he will take strides in his sophomore year. I still think Nick Bosa is going to prove very troublesome for Geno Smith. But I do think, depending on the health of the quarterbacks in San Francisco, I think Seattle's defense could prove a little bit troublesome as well for the quarterbacks. I do want to say that they split this year, so I'm going to go Seattle with you.
Pretty brutal stretch of games right here, I will say. Week 13, back-to-back Thursday night games, by the way. We got the Seahawks traveling to Dallas. I picked Dallas to win this game. I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah, I think that Dallas's defense is going to be very hard and difficult to play in, especially in Dallas. I'm going to go Dallas as well.
All right, week 14, we got the Seahawks traveling to the Niners. I do think they split and giving the advantage to home field. So Niners.
I'm going Niners as well. Home field.
All right, tough matchup. We got the Eagles traveling to Seattle. I will say since it's in Seattle, I think the Seahawks have a lot better of a chance to beat the Eagles, but the Eagles are too elite for me to pick the Seahawks right now. So I'm keeping the Eagles pick.
I'm going to keep the Eagles as well. That defense is just unreal. If the whole Aaron Donald trade does happen, I don't know if these NFL rumors are accurate or not, but if they got Aaron Donald on top of all their defensive linemen, it would be absolutely insane. I expect Jalen Hurts to be healthy, and that offense is great as well. So I'm going to go Eagles.
All right. So week 16, okay. Week 16, we got the Seahawks traveling to the Titans. I believe I picked this because it's in Tennessee. Tennessee can be a hard place to play, especially in the wintertime. Shoot. Let's see. 9-8. Yeah. I think it's possible that the Titans can squeak this one out, especially if they're healthy. If they're healthy and Ryan Tannehill is playing serviceable, this is like the battle of serviceable quarterbacks. You can win with both of these guys. But we'll see. Ryan Tannehill kind of been on the decline for last couple years. This is gonna be a tough game. And shit, man. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with the Titans pick here.
Yeah, Derek the Yeti comes out around this time as long as he's healthy. I think Tennessee's defense, as long as they're healthy, it's going to be troublesome. Tennessee is a tough place to play as well, but I am actually going to go Seattle here. I think that they have too many offensive pieces in comparison to Tennessee, even though they did get D-Hop. They have a wide receiver trio room instead of like a bona fide number one wide receiver in Tennessee, and then some guys that still need to prove themselves. I think Treylon Burks has a better year than he did last year as long as he's healthy, but I do like Seattle overall, so I'm going to go Seattle here.
Damn it, dude. I mean, I think the smarter pick is to pick Seattle here. And with the last 2 games I have Seattle taking, I have them finishing the season 9-8. I think that's way too low for the Seahawks. So for that reason, I am going to switch this pick, and I'm going to have the Seahawks beating the Titans in Tennessee.
Okay. Week 17, Pittsburgh traveling to Seattle. If this was in Pittsburgh, I think it's a winnable game still in Seattle, but I think that the noise, the 12th man could get to Kenny Pickett a little bit. I think that TJ Watt could have a hell of a game, especially against Charles Cross. I think this will be a uphill climb for passing the ball. I really do, but I think that they can get it done running the ball. So I'm still going to go Seattle here, mostly because it's at home.
Yeah, same reason. I'm going with Seattle here. Also, I think they're a better team. Week 18, we got the Seahawks traveling to the Cardinals. Looking how their season is, I don't expect the Seahawks to, if this goes exactly the way I predicted, or I'm predicting, I don't see the Seahawks benching their starters. So I'm going to keep the Seahawks pick here.
Same. Seattle's just a better team than Arizona at this point in time, so I'm going to keep it Seattle.
All right. I have the Seahawks going 10-7.
I do as well.
Wow. Okay. I'm glad I'm not alone in this because I thought I was being a little too low on them. I think they're a good team. I just don't think they're better than the Eagles or the 49ers yet. Like,
agreed.
The defense is what separates them. I think on offense, I think they can compete. And that's if Geno plays like he did last year. And that's a big what if, you know. I mean, we had a big sample size of Geno in the NFL, and it wasn't pretty until last year. So we'll see if he can replicate. I think he has the perfect team to help him do it. I mean, this team is stacked, dude. Like you said, that wide receiver room is gonna be nasty, especially if Jackson Smith-Njigba pans out. That running back room is deep. The offensive line is young. Pete Carroll, I can't stand him, but he's a great coach. And then the defensive side of the ball is getting better. You know, they've added some people in the draft, free agency. So they're young. They're young. They are a young up and coming team. Yeah, it's really based on Geno though for me. If Geno plays poorly, because that's what happened last year. Once Geno started, simmering down, they started losing more games, and finished the season 9-8. So we'll see. We will see.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think Seattle is improving. I think that they are better than they were roster-wise. I think on paper they're a better team, but it's putting it out on the field. Sometimes we see a team who we think is going to be better on paper, and then it just doesn't pan out. So they could have a wide array of outcomes, but I do think Seattle is a 10-7 record. I think it's very attainable, so I feel pretty comfortable putting them at 10-7.
Yeah. All right, cool. I'm you made me feel less biased, Dan. Thank you.
You're welcome. And speaking of bias, we're going to get into it. The final team of our preseason predictions. This is going to be a good one. I think you're right in saying we're saving the best for last in this division. I don't know if they're the best team overall, but I think that they have the potential to go back to the Super Bowl. I think that they have the potential to win it. This team has a lot of hype going into the preseason, and they have the talent to back it up. So, Jake, let's get into your boys, the San Francisco 49ers.
Whoops. Hold on. What the heck?
Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on?
I'm all confused. Hold up, dude. I'm sorry. Of course this is for my team. Jesus. What the okay.
Let's try this again. All right. We're going ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that's because I put the same graphic. Oh, my fault, guys. Okay, I'm not stupid. It's a late night. Hold on.
I put the wrong 2 episodes in one night. So okay, Jake accidentally messed up.
Yeah, I put the wrong graphic on it. So when I did it, it was doing it twice. So I thought I was crazy. Okay. There it is. Oh
now
my
God. Now we got it. All right, Jake, your boys, the San Francisco 49ers. Let's get into a little bit of their stats last year, their strength of schedule, and then we will go game by game for the preseason record prediction.
Yeah. So I don't like to be super high on my team, but I am high on them this year. I truly believe if they're going to win the Super Bowl, it's going to be this year or they're not going to win for a while. Because you look at the way the contracts are lining up, it's going to be very difficult to keep this core. We still got to pay Nick Bosa. Brandon Ayuk is on his last year. It's a lot of question marks for a lot of players. So I think if they don't win it this year, they don't win it with this group. So last year they won the division. Yeah, and they had a good year last year. Really good year, actually. They were 13-4. They were 6th in points scored, 1st in points allowed. Overall, they were the 2nd best team. Offense, they were 4th. Defense, they were 2nd. One spot where they could improve is special teams. They were 22nd. So, yeah, I mean this team is stacked all around. It's just the quarterback question marks. Same thing with the Seahawks. If Brock Purdy was just, a what's it called, a splash in the pan or whatever that saying is, this team could fall off, like, for sure. Like, I hate to say it, I'm just kind of starting to not believe in Trey Lance. I think, he's been on the team for what, 3 years now, 4 years, and it just hasn't been panning out, man. And I'm pretty nervous to see if he has to take over this offense. And it's going to be a shame because this team is stacked on both sides of the ball. And if they don't have a quarterback that is accurate, at least, it's going to be rough sledding. The 49ers, they have the easiest schedule in the division, which is awesome. They have the 15th hardest schedule. So it's still a pretty decently, middle of the pack division schedule. But I'm ready to get into it, Dane.
Let's do it. Yeah, I'm excited for your team this year. I think that what we've seen, if history repeats itself, they have several years where they are top tier. Mm-hmm. And then when the contracts come into play, then they fall off for maybe 2-3 years, and then they're right back in it. Like, they're more consistent than my team for sure. The Chargers haven't been legitimate. 2018 was kind of an outlier year, but before that, they hadn't been in contention since like 2010, 2009. Your team, they went to the Super Bowl in 2013. They've been in the NFC Championship, I think, twice in the last 5 years. They also went to a Super Bowl again. So the 49ers, they have a good roster. They have a really good roster. This defense,
4 times. 4 times in the last 5 years.
What, the NFC Championship game?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. See, that's why we have fans of specific teams, and Jake knows a lot more about the 49ers than I do, which is good to see. And the 49ers, this defense, I think, is, other than the Eagles, I think it's the best defense in the NFL. Mm-hmm. And they have, I think, arguably the best pass rusher in the NFL in Nick Bosa. I'm high on Nick Bosa. As long as he stays healthy, he will be top tier. But yeah, Jake, let's get into it. I'm looking at your record.
Yeah, so I already had them at 15-2. I'm definitely going to switch these around.
It's very possible. It's very possible. Yeah. Who's your new defensive coordinator? Because you guys did lose D'Amico Ryan. I don't know if that's going to be a major impact, because the defense is still pretty much all there.
Yeah, it's the same core. Really no new starters compared to last year. Yeah. Oh, the only new starter is they got better on the D line. They added Javon Hargrave. So that's really the newest starter. They just added somebody. I'm not worried about Steve Wilkes. He's a defensive coordinator. He's special in defense. He's a solid DC. He did good stuff with the Panthers with how little they had over there. And this is the same core. They actually improved when Robert Saleh left a couple years ago. They brought in, the unknown of D'Amico, and he balled out. And it's easy to ball out when you have players at every level. So I'm not too worried about that, but I'm ready to get into it, Dane. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right, week 1. We got the Niners at the Steelers. This is going to be a tough game. Again, I want to say Purdy. Purdy, they say he's healthy. He's going to be the starter. I think if he's healthy and playing like he did last year, I think that they win this one easily, to be honest. Not easily. It's not, no game's easy. Steelers are improved for sure. They're going to have to, take care of TJ Watt. But with that being said, I am going to go 49ers here. Yeah, I'm going to go 49ers.
So I don't necessarily think that it's the same situation as it was when they played Chicago last year. We thought that was a home run pick. That was like one of the most bet games for like an easy pick. And Chicago came and upset the 49ers. San Francisco is traveling to Pittsburgh. It is going to be a hostile environment. It is the first game of the season. Anything can happen. I do think that San Francisco has a tendency to lose earlier games, but I don't think that it happens this year. I think that they started off hot, and I think they start things rolling with a dub. So give me San Francisco.
All right. I think you originally picked the Steelers to win, didn't you?
I did.
Okay. Right on. I like it. I like the change of heart. Week 2, we got the Niners going to their second home in Los Angeles, Levi South, and they're facing the Rams. Yeah, I mean, the 49ers are just a better team than the 49ers, than the Rams. The 49ers have beat them. They have swept them 3 years in a row. I can definitely see it happening again. So I'm taking the 49ers here.
Yeah, I'm going to take the 49ers as well. LA is just depleted roster-wise in comparison to the 49ers. Like you said, their team is pretty much all the same on defense. The fans are going to show up in LA. They're home away from home. Like you said, there's more San Francisco fans than there are Chargers fans, Raiders fans, and Los Angeles Rams fans apparently in LA. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go 49ers as well.
Week 3, we got the Giants traveling to San Francisco on Thursday Night Football. First home game. I think if the 49ers sleep on the Giants, they could lose this one, but they excel in the run, in stopping the run. Saquon is not like any other running back, but I expect them to shut down the run in this game and put the ball in Daniel Jones's hand. And for that reason, I'm taking the 49ers as well.
I'm going 49ers as well. It's their first home game. Crowd's going to be going wild. You and I got the pleasure of going to the stadium last year to play the Chargers 49ers game. Wild experience. The fans are crazy. I'm going San Francisco.
That was so fun, dude.
Yeah, it was. That was a good time. Met some cool people. But yeah, the 49ers defense, I think, is going to be able to shut down the run. I don't trust Daniel Jones against this linebacker crew, defensive line, or cornerback depth. So yeah, give me the 49ers.
All right. Week 4, we got the Cardinals at the 49ers. I'm taking the 49ers here.
I'm taking the 49ers as well. They're just a much more complete team.
Week 5, we got the Cowboys coming to the 49ers. And the 49ers have had their number in the playoffs for the last 2 years. Where the Cowboys do beat the 49ers is in the regular season. And honestly, I really hate to do this, but fuck. I think the 49ers are still a better team. I mean, maybe not the quarterback. I'll give them, they have the better quarterback. Maybe wide receiver overall, like their number one. I would probably take CD over Debo, maybe. But Brandon Ayuk, I think, is going to have a breakout year this year. I think he's going to ball out. Nah, I'm taking the 49ers here.
So I think that the 49ers are the better team. But like I've said, if the 49ers are going to lose games, it's usually going to be in the beginning of the year. And I think that this is one of those games that could get away with them. We've seen them do it against the Atlanta Falcons, where the Falcons beat them that one year earlier in the season. 49ers are heavily favored. I think Mike McCarthy's game plan is to keep it close, but to run out the clock. And because of that, I do like Tony Pollard. I think Dak's probably going to turn this over, and more likely than not, San Francisco should win this one. And I think that like I said, they should win this one, but I think that this is just one where it's a fluky loss, and I'm going to go Cowboys here.
You know what? I think I'm being a little bit too high on my team right here. The Cowboys are going to be tough. 49ers, squeaked one out in the playoffs. I'm going to switch this one. I think, Micah Parsons is going up against really Colton McKivitz, and we lost Mike McGlinchey, and I don't know, man. Micah Parsons is a animal, so I think that's a big factor in this game. So yeah, I'm gonna switch it. I'm gonna be more logical here. I'm gonna switch it to the Cowboys, and I agree with you. If they lose, it's gonna be early in the season. Week 6, another sneaky tough matchup. 49ers traveling to Cleveland. Cleveland's a hard place to play. It's, the fans are rowdy. That team is pretty good, man. It's just the question marks at quarterback. Everyone has questions at quarterback. I previously picked the 49ers to win here. I am going to keep it, though.
All right. I like it. When I mentioned the Falcons, this is one of those games again for me. I want them. It's not that I want them to, but history tends to repeat itself. And like you said, going to Cleveland is a tough place to play. I think that they started off the season 4-0, and then I think that they hit like a little rough patch here. This is just kind of me spitballing a little bit. I think Cleveland gets the upper hand. I think that they kind of overlooked Deshaun Watson because I think that he's going to play a lot better than he did last year. Cleveland's offensive line, I think, is going to be more improved. I think their defensive line is going to be more improved as long as they're healthy. They have some weapons. They have one of the best running backs. I think Cleveland squeaks this one out in a nail biter.
All right. I would not be surprised, honestly. Week 7, we got the Niners traveling to Minnesota on Monday night. This one's tough for me. It's in Minnesota. The 49ers had the Vikings number for last several matchups. I think we're a little low on the Vikings. I really do. I do. And I'm actually going to switch this one to the Vikings here. Yeah, I mean, is it more logical that the Niners lose to the Browns? Probably. So, you can swap these last two games. I think they win one of two of these. So,
all right.
Yeah, I'm going to have the Vikings here.
I have the 49ers bouncing back against the Vikings. I just think that the defense is going to eat Kirk Cousins alive. I think that Nick Bosa is going to have a day against that offensive line. I like Christian Darrisaw a lot for the Vikings. I think he's one of the best tackles in the NFL at this point in time. He's definitely grown into his own right, but I think that the 49ers bounce back. I think that they get it done on the road. After 2 losses, they have something to prove. I think that they said they've had enough losing already and want to bounce back. So yeah, give me the 49ers.
All right. Week 8, we got this is a tough stretch of games. Cowboys, Browns, Vikings, Bengals. That's pretty tough, man. Week 8, we got the Bengals traveling to the 49ers. I previously picked the 49ers to win. This is usually when they start hitting their stride. I definitely can see them losing this game. It's at home, though. It's going to be a tough place for the Bengals. Man. I'm going to have the Bengals winning this one.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I think that as long as Joe Burrow is healthy, this offense is going to be tough to defend, especially Jamar Chase. The Bengals don't have the best offensive line, though, so it could play in the factor of the home team here, San Francisco. The only thing is, I think the Bengals defense is slept on, and I think the Bengals defense could get after Brock Purdy and give him some trouble, so I'm going to go Bengals.
I'm going to switch the Vikings pick. I think the Bengals could possibly be a better team than the 49ers. I don't think the Vikings are better. So I'm going to switch that one back.
Okay.
I think that makes more sense to me. Week 9, we got the bye. Week 10, sneaky good matchup. We got the 49ers traveling to Jacksonville. Luckily it's, probably sometime right before December. I would say probably November time. This should be November time or late October. But it's probably going to be a little bit cooler in Florida, so that's good for the 49ers. I think this is going to be a tough matchup. I do. But I'm taking the 49ers. I think they're still a better team. I think it's going to be a close one, though. So probably going to have to rely on our rookie kicker to, squeeze out some field goals, or that defense is just going to have to get after it. So, yeah, but I'm taking the 49ers here.
Yeah, I think the 49ers after the bye week, this is when the second gear kicks in. I'm going to go 49ers. I think that they have the defensive talent to kind of give enough pressure on Trevor Lawrence where he'll make a couple mistakes. I mean, we saw it in the first half against the Chargers where he threw 4 interceptions or however many interceptions. But unlike the Chargers, the 49ers, they don't let off the gas. They don't let teams come back. And because of that, I'm going to go 49ers.
All right. Week 11. Not going to talk about this one. I have the 49ers. We got them beating the Bucks.
Yeah, I'm going 49ers all the way here.
All right. Week 12, hard matchup in Seattle. I could totally see the 49ers sweeping the division again. I really could. But it's Seattle. Always tough to play in there. So I'm taking the Seahawks here.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the Seahawks pick.
All right. Week 13. This is the one every 49er fan has circled on their calendar. Eagles, we got the Eagles, 49ers versus Eagles in Philadelphia. This rivalry, this has turned into a rivalry in the last year. Ever since the NFC Championship, both sides have just been talking shit. Players have been talking shit. Fans have been talking shit. Everyone's got this one circled. I believe I think you convinced me to pick the 49ers here. Yep. I know the 49ers are going to want revenge. I think the Eagles are a better team. Surprise. I think the Eagles are probably the best team in the NFL. Or one of the top 3. I think the 49ers are one of the top 3 teams in the NFL. But where the Eagles have a definite edge is at quarterback. Jalen Hurts was damn near the MVP last year. We'll see if he can replicate it this year. This one's hard for me, man. I do want to take my team. I really do. But
let me step in. So yeah. I convinced you last time. I'm going to do it again. They lost in Philadelphia because of a freak injury to Brock Purdy. They had to run the ball every single time. They weren't able to pass the ball. If it wasn't for a missed challenge on a Devontae Smith play, they could have kept the game a little bit more interesting. Maybe Brock Purdy wouldn't have gotten injured. Assumption. But I think the 49er defense, the 49er team, they realize how much they want to beat the Eagles because these are the top 2 teams in the NFC that are going to be competing for the number 1 seed. I think the 49ers go in here with their hair on fire. I think the team is fired up. They want the revenge. I think they get it. I think the offensive play calling, they can bleed out the clock. I think that they're going to be playing harder defensively than they did because they're going to be not on the field as much. I think the offense is going to be able to get a lot more going. Hopefully Debo's healthy at this time. Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, and Brock Purdy. I think that Brock Purdy showed enough last year to give promise, even though he did get injured, and coming back from an injury can sometimes lead to quarterbacks having a regression. I don't see it happening. I'm going 49ers.
All right. You convinced me again. I forget, like, that first quarter, they were playing, that defense was shutting down Jalen Hurts.
It was neck and neck.
They were shutting him down, dude. Like, he was really not able to do that much. And then the injury happened. So, yeah, revenge is going to be sweet. I'll take it. Week 14, keep the win streak going. I am having the 49ers split with the Seahawks.
Same. I'm having the 49ers win this one as well.
Week 15, we got the 49ers traveling to Arizona. Yeah, I have them sweeping the Cardinals.
Same here.
All right, week 16, the Ravens at the 49ers. I previously picked the Ravens. Yeah. I'll keep the Ravens here. The Ravens, or the 49ers and Ravens, or the 49ers don't do that well against the Ravens. And they don't do that well against quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson. So for that reason, I'm going to go Ravens. I think it's going to be a close game, though.
I think it's going to be a very close game as well. I think this is going to be a good defensive battle. I think San Francisco is going to win this one, though. I like them at home. I like the fact that, this group, I think that they're going to realize, like you mentioned earlier, this might be the last time this group is in the position to go for a Super Bowl. And it's at home. I think the defense will be able to do enough against Lamar Jackson. I do think that the Ravens are a much more improved team offensively, but I think that they're going to be able to get after Lamar Jackson. So I'm going 49ers.
Dude, I hope you're right. I'll take it. I will take it. Week 17, we got the Niners traveling to the Washington team. Yeah, I'm taking the Niners. They're a better team.
I'm taking the Niners as well.
It could be interesting for a while, though. It was interesting the last time they played.
Yeah, it could be interesting, but I don't trust Sam Howell enough to go up against an elite defense and win it, even if they are at home. The 49ers defense is top tier. They were number 1 last year, or number 2, whatever the hell it was. But they're not going to be able to get much going on the ground, and I don't think Sam Howell's going to do enough with his legs, like a Lamar Jackson has the potential to kind of get out of the pocket. And I think the 49ers are going to cause him enough pressure where he's going to make mistakes, turn the ball over. So I'm going 49ers.
Right on. Fun fact, the 49ers play on Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Oh, nice.
So that's pretty cool. Who do they play on Christmas? Oh, they play the Ravens. Yep. They play the Ravens on Christmas, and they play the Seahawks on Thanksgiving. Excellent.
Those will be great games.
Yeah. Great games. It will be either really good holiday or pretty shitty holiday for me. Week 18, we got the Rams traveling to the 49ers. And the way I have everything playing out, the Eagles and the 49ers are neck and neck at 13-4. I'm going to keep the 49ers winning this game. I don't think they bench their starters. I think I'll say this. I think the 49ers need to get that number 1 seed. They need home field advantage throughout the playoffs. If the Eagles have to come to Levi's, it's a different story. And the same thing for if they have to go to Philadelphia, because they're going to meet. They are going to 100% meet up again, unless the Eagles or the 49ers choke in the playoffs. So, yeah, I'm going to have the 49ers win this one.
I'm having the 49ers win as well, just essentially for the same thing, because I have the 49ers going 13-4. I think you have them the same record. Mm-hmm. This is for the number 1 seed, and because of that, they're going to play their starters and go into either a first round bye with momentum, or they're going to go into the first round of playoffs with momentum. Either way, they're going to want to go in with a win, in my opinion. And because of that, they're going to win that game. And it's the Rams. They have their number, especially during the regular season. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot tougher, but, a pretty comfortable lead for the 49ers, in our opinion, over Seattle. Even though Seattle has improved, we still have them winning 3 more games. And there's a chance that San Francisco 2-0s Seattle. There's a chance that they split. I don't think that there's a chance Seattle 2-0s San Francisco by any means. It could happen, but I think the likelihood of it is very slim to none. But overall, yeah, this was fun, man. You know, we finally finished our preseason predictions. We will eventually be doing in-season week by week predictions. Stay tuned for other episodes that we will give announcements on.
Real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Real quick. So I just wanted to repeat. We had the Niners at 13-4, Seahawks at 10-7, Rams at 4-13, and the Cardinals at 1-16. You want to know the playoff seedings for the NFC?
Let's hear it.
All right. So at the 1 seed, which I truly believe the 49ers need if they're going to win it this year, is the 49ers. At 2, we got the Eagles. So it's vice versa from last year. At 3, we have the Saints at 11-6, or I do. At 4, we got the Vikings at 11-6. At 5, we have the Lions at 11-6. 6, we have the Cowboys at 11-6, and then we have the Seahawks at 10-7. I really don't see, 5 of the playoff teams having the same record. But we'll see. Pretty interesting. I think those are all my playoff teams. Not specifically in that order. I think all those teams make the playoffs, to be honest. I think the only one that
Detroit.
No,
Seattle.
I think Well, with Detroit and the Vikings, like I had the Vikings winning the division right now. I think the Lions probably win the division, but I could also see them just, getting into playoffs. I think we're sleeping on the Vikings just a tad. And then the South division, I think, the Saints could just be trash, and the Panthers could win. Also, are we possibly what do you remember what you had the Giants record at? Because I had them at 7-10.
I think I had them at 8-9.
Okay, so I mean we're kind of around the same area. I don't know, man. It's hard. It is hard. It's going to be a fun season.
And that is why these are our preseason predictions, ladies and gentlemen. This is not in season because a lot is going to happen after the preseason weeks before the actual first game. And then a lot's going to change during the regular season with injuries, teams outperforming where we had them, teams not doing as well as we had them. So this is all speculation at this point in time. We're going to have more accurate and relevant data as we get into the actual season. But guys, thank you if you guys made it through this. This was a fun series to cover. I think this is one of my favorite, but we have more good content coming your way. So stay tuned, like, comment, subscribe, follow us on our Instagram right here at cannonballs_podcast. Anything you do can to help share and support this channel to help us grow would be much appreciated. Jake, do you have anything to say before we get out of here?
Yeah, just like, comment, subscribe. Good luck to all of your teams, except if you're a Chiefs fan,
Denver, Raiders,
Seahawks, Rams, Seahawks, Cardinals. Actually, I'm not even worried about the Cardinals. You guys can win. I hope the Cardinals win more than one game. Honestly, like it's sad. It's sad when a team loses
in your division.
Yeah. Like, I mean, honestly, like if any of you are NFC West like fans, this division was god awful for like pretty much all of the 2000s. So I just want I would prefer the division to be good, to be honest. Like it makes me sweat more, but it makes division games more fun. But yeah, with that being said, thanks for listening, and as always, peace.